I wanted to welcome everybody tonight to another powerful evening. We're going to have one of my mentors on. My name is Michael Silvers. I'm Executive Vice President for Power Team for Global Training. And, we are looking for many other trainers. So if you're a trainer, a coach, a speaker, an entrepreneur, if you're in business, you're in the right place. If you want to know how to move your business forward, how to get it started, to start a business, you're in the right place. You want to be here, you want to get going. We're going to start just in about 3 minutes. I'm going to introduce my mentor at that point, and we're very excited to have all of you on. And we also know, as all of you are ready for this information, that part of it is it's okay. You don't have a haircut. It's okay if you're a little messy. It's really about being here, getting the education, and moving forward. Because what happens is we get stopped. We slow down. We think, oh, what's going to be next? And that fear keeps you from, something's always going to come up. And that fear will keep you from moving forward in your business. So tonight, say, I am ready for more. I am ready to take action. We do these calls because we bring education and training, but we also do these calls because we seriously are going to make sure that your businesses move forward, that you're going to run side by side with us, and that we're going to take you to whatever that next level is, and not let that fear, which is again false evidence appearing real, stop you from moving forward. So we're so excited to have all of you on. We know you're coming on from many different sources. It's truly an amazing day to be here, to be educated, and to know that this is the right place at the right time. So we'll start just in about a minute as everybody's pouring on, and we're going to bring the education, the information. So a couple things, get ready to write. Get ready to write that information down. Figure out how it works in your business today, tomorrow, and the next day, and how you're going to take action right now. How you want to partner, who you want to partner with, and who you want your team. And that will bring everything to that powerful conclusion that you are ready for more, that you are truly ready for more, and you are ready to take action. And as you take action, it is truly about doing it now. So write the word now down. That's the whole thing tonight. I see a lot of you bouncing on right now. The whole thing is going to be about now. So write the word now, N-O-W. It's about taking action now. It's about doing it now and getting rolling and ready and just doing it. That's part of business. So we're going to start the call. We're excited. And thank you for being on. Thank you for loading the box. And here we go. So my name is Michael Silvers. I'm Executive Vice President of Power Team for Global Training. Well, all that means is that I love what I do and that I help as many people as I can get to where they want to go. My mentor is going to be on the call tonight. Part of why I am who I am, part of the reason that I've been in all the countries I've been in, that I get to work with people all around the world, is because of mentors like this next gentleman who is our CEO. He created this. It is because of that vision and really everything that he creates that we truly have what we have. I'd like to welcome the guests because for us, they're as important because you're all part of family for what we do. So what I'd like you to do is, from your different sources, wherever you're coming from, go ahead and put comments in right now. Where you're from, where are you sitting right now as you're getting the education? What city, what state, whatever you'd like to do, what country you're coming from. Love to see guests coming on, and you're part of this call. This is interaction. Part of this call is really being interactive. Think of it this way, it's not TV, right? It's not a one-way. We truly can take the comments, and we get a lot of them, and we look at all of them. We have a team actually ready to go just to help with the comments, to help with anything that comes up, and Bill and I watch the comments the whole way through. We are at the beginning, we are at the end, and we are there for you as you truly get the information that you need. So first of all, if you'd like to just put where you're from, what state you're from, anything like that, that would be great, because then we know where you're coming from. And if you want to say hi to myself or Bill, if you want to just put your name, if you don't know who we are and this is your first time, you can say that. This is my first time being on with Power Team. I'm learning, I'm ready for education, knowledge, and to move now. So again, as your guests on the line, welcome so much. And I truly want you all to just know, say, I am empowered. Very good. Say, I am ready for more. So write that down. I'm ready for more. I take action now. Because it's really what you did yesterday, which will mean everything today. Las Vegas, fantastic. Awesome. And I can tell you Washington's in the house. And I can tell you Nevada, we know, is in the house. And I know somebody else listening also from Washington is in the house. So let's see where everybody else is from. Typically, we obviously do all around the country. And obviously, we want to see who's the longest distance, who's dialing in from the furthest away. Tonight is about education, but taking action. And I say that over and over because we have a tendency of taking it all in and doing just stopping. And so what you want to do is you want to move in a direction. You want to take that direction and go forward. You want to take that direction of what you've learned for your business, to be an entrepreneur, to be a speaker, to really land it, to move you in the direction that you're looking forward to have yourself held to the information that you know will really take you to that next level. And that's the critical piece. And work with teams. Who's the team you want to be with? Be with those that are doing a ton of calls every single week, flip their business, not on, we just really took a little bit of shift because we're still doing the same business. We're just online now. And we're saying that we're still here for you, that nothing has changed from that point. We're still here. We're not going anywhere. And we're going to run with you. Rainmakers who are on the line, I want to welcome you on the line. Platinum speakers, if you're on the line. Win Global Mastermind members are on the line. Icon Mastermind members, guests, people who've never seen who we are. Tonight is going to be education and training. It's going to come at you fast. I want you writing like you never have. I want you getting the education that you need and moving it forward now. Always looking for new team members. Thank you, Cheryl. Truly are. Always looking for more team members. And I'll tell you, myself, I am looking for new team members too. We have a global training department. We do virtual masterminds around the world, and we have local masterminds in 35 cities. And we just knock it down, knock it up. That sounds bad, right? But we truly make the difference because we bring it to you. And right now we're bringing it to you virtually. We have virtual masterminds. We have virtual training. And then we have hundreds of events a month. And so we're really there to be for you. And when we go live, we'll do it in a safe manner. We've done it before. We did it right before the shutdown. And everybody was fine coming out of that because we know what we're doing. We've been in this business a long time. Between myself, Bill, and Cheryl, you'll know three of us. We've been in this business between the three of us, it's like 60 years in this business. And it's really that education. So here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready for more? All right. So my name is Michael Silvers again. I'm so excited to have all of you on the line. I want to welcome all the guests. If you do want to just chat at any time and let us know where you're calling from, that would be fantastic. Again, if you want to know, let us know where you're calling from. Tonight is a night of inspiration, of truly moving yourself forward and really taking the education in and learning everything now. It's really how to not only join as a team, but it's how to take your business currently and do those little tweaks that you need. Learn, listen, get ready to take action. This next gentleman I'm about to bring up is a mentor. I've learned so much from him. I continue to learn. I tailored some of my business around what he built. Power Team is in a powerful company to work side by side with, and I'm now in it, and it's the best it's ever been. I've been on stages all around the world. And I've never had this education come at me so fast in such a way that I can disseminate it and move it forward, and that's going to happen for you tonight. So without any further ado, this next gentleman is our CEO, a mentor of mine, mentor of many of us on here. Let's give a big, huge, thunderous round of applause for Mr. Bill Walls.
What's up, Mr. Michael Silvers? How are you?
Good. How you doing, Mr. Bill?
Good, man. Good to have you on. A lot of new breakthroughs today. I just keep learning more stuff every day. It really is quite amazing how much you can learn when you're focused on getting better each day. So this is our speaker mastery call. And I thought it'd be fun tonight to give you some insight, some wisdom, some ideas on how to take your idea and turn it into a turnkey online public speaker business. Because I think that, many times we think that to be a speaker, you've got to be a great speaker. Well, let me just start this from scratch, right? That most of the great speakers you see today on stages around the world, I want you to know they all started somewhere. So it's important you take some time today and go research People like a Les Brown, like a Brian Tracy, like a Mark Victor Hansen. Go down the line of all these so-called great speakers, and when you do your homework, you're going to find that they didn't start out so great. So I want you to write this down, that you don't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. So you can write that down. You don't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. And so tonight, as we're listening in, if you feel the calling that you would like to be professionally trained on how to speak and sell from stage and really be a part of our national speaker group, or maybe you just want to become a better speaker. You want to learn how to utilize rotaries and the tips and chambers and Vistage and all these groups to get your message out there. Either way, it's okay. Just text the word platinum, one word platinum, to 26786. Our team will follow up in 48 hours. So we'll get more into that as we go through this tonight. But I also wanted to talk tonight about, when you first decide to get started, what are some of the things you need? Because I think so often that we go down the path of being in this business, but we don't realize, what do we need? And if we just had someone tell us more of the stuff we need, we could probably do a whole lot better in the area of public speaking. So here's where it has to start. You got to be passionate about what you're going to speak about. So I just want you to write down, just do me a favor and just write down the word passion. Put the word passion right at the top of your page, right? And I'll kind of show you how to do some of this stuff, right? And I'm not great at it, but I'm getting better. So just write the word passion at the top of your page. Now we're going to play a game called fill in the blanks. So below the word passion, I'd like you to write down, what are you passionate about? When it comes to your gift, when it comes to your talent, when it comes to your miracle ability, when it comes to your superpower. And maybe you have more than one. Maybe you have a few superpowers. Bill, I'm great at these few things. So if you could do me a favor right now and just write those down. And if you see the chat box on the right, if you're on the Power Team page, on the USA page, it's probably on the right. If you're on the live broadcast, it's probably somewhere right below the screen somewhere. So wherever you're at, you can begin to post some of those things in there. And once again, just put in there, what are you great at? I think that'd be really helpful. Just pipe down whatever you're great at, just type it in. And what are you passionate about? So you can write it in. So what are you passionate about? What are you great at? If you were challenged and they said, what are your superpowers? What would you say? So I'd love to hear what you would write down, and put some pops on there if you would, if you're on the Facebook. If you're on the Twitch stream right now, that is not working very well from what I see. So if it is working for you, then just put it right there too. That's fine. But not just what you're passionate about, what are you great at? See, the passion has to come from the inside, not the outside. The talent is something that can be acquired as you've gained expertise in a certain area. I was talking with one of our speakers yesterday, that her name is Barbara Hardy, and she's going to talk tomorrow on our summit about inclusivity and the power of inclusivity. And I told her how bad I was at some of our marketing, that sometimes you get so wrapped up in one part of the business that you miss parts of it. So as you can see the banners behind me, what we did is we changed all of our banners to be fully inclusive like our clients are. Our clients come from everywhere around the world, every different nationality, every different race. But, sometimes in the marketing, because I wasn't doing the creative side of that, I had other people doing it, and we were missing the mark. We were so far off. So when it comes to understanding what you're great at, just write down what you're great at, right? And then figure out, is this something that you can monetize? So under the word passion, you've written down your 3 things you're great at. I want you to write down the word, just kind of play with me here if you would, just have some fun here, right? This is a big one, everybody. Is it something you can monetize? So what are you passionate about? What are you great at? And can you monetize it? Because if you're passionate about it, but there's no monetization, please write this down, that becomes a hobby. And a lot of people spend their whole life creating something called a hobby, and they never get paid for it. They love it, they're passionate about it, but it never makes them any money. So ask yourself today, is what you're passionate about and your skill sets, right? Do they line up with the opportunity to monetize? And if they do, then you've got something that you've got to invest some time and money in. I think so often that, we think we can do it all by ourselves. I'm going to tell you today that one of the greatest things about being in business, and one of the most important things about being in business, you have to rely on your team. And either your team does what they're supposed to do or they don't. If you were playing on an NFL team, for example, and you were the left tackle, people don't realize the number 2 salary on almost any football team is the left tackle, because the left tackle on the line of scrimmage, he's the main guy that protects something for the quarterback called the blind side. You see, and when you start to think about your business, you've got to figure out who are the greatest people that you can work with, you have mad respect for, they over-deliver, they're consistent, they're not flakes. If you got flakes on your team, which means they don't do what they say they're going to do, you always got to try to find them. They're not going to make it, and you've got to cut them loose. So part of your business today says, what am I really great at? What are my top skill sets? Is it something I can monetize, right? And then, of course, and this is a big one for everybody that's listening today, is you got to figure out what is the team required? What is the team required to execute on your idea? Because you might say, well, Bill, but I don't have any money. I want to be a speaker, but I don't have any money. Well, then you're not going to speak to anybody, right? So you've got to figure out, if you have no money, you've got to create some sort of coaching product that you can help people with, so you can begin to build the nest egg, because either you're great at something or you're not. There's no in between. You can be good, but if you want to get paid, be great. So think about today, once again, I told you, what are you passionate about that you're great at, right? What are you passionate about that you're great at that people would pay you for? And you got to write this stuff down. Passionate about, great at, people would pay you for. I don't have any money. That means you're not getting exposure. That means you're not doing enough free consults. So when you start thinking about, the team, the first team that you need is make sure that your message, your story, your brand is in alignment with what the offer is that you're going to sell. So, don't think that if you're going to be a high-end strategic launch coach for companies and they go to your website and all you have is a picture of yourself from 2002 and you have no stories, no testimonials, no clients, no opt-in pages, no way to gather the data. I'm telling you that you're not ready for business. So once again, you don't have to have everything perfect when you start, but you got to start. And to start, you got to make sure, are you great at something that can serve some people? Are you passionate about it, right? Is there a way to monetize your gift? And you got to go through these questions one at a time, and then figure out, who do I need around me to get this stuff done? Do I need a virtual admin? Have I talked to Daniel Myers from our VA partners, right? Have I got a good accountant? Do I have a good graphic person? Do I have someone that can get me a funnel that gets me leads every day? And please do not get caught up in something called paralysis of analysis. I watch speakers get this too, paralysis of analysis. I can't start till everything's perfect. Well, then don't leave home. I'm not going to leave home until every light on the way to the office is green. If there's one red light, sorry, can't go. You're never going to make it. You're going to stay in a place called Brokeville, because paralysis of analysis is going to kill you. You just don't know it. I'm going to tell you today, after 35 years of being in different businesses, that you will always shoot for perfection, right? So always write this down. Shoot for perfection and settle for excellence. Which means that it might take you a number of times to get it right. It might take you a number of renditions to get it right, but you don't stop doing lead generation. You don't stop talking to customers. You continually have to be on the offense. If you know you're great at something that can serve a lot of people and there's a monetizable opportunity there and it really helps them, in other words, can you really help them, then please understand this. Start today with getting some basic marketing out there. Figure out the people on your team. It's simple. Draw an org chart. Draw a simple org chart, and I'll give you an example, right? Just draw a little org chart and figure out, who do you need on the org chart as you're building this stuff out, so it looks something like this, right? Who do you need? Do you need technology? Do you need marketing? Do you need some money, right? Do you need a VA? What are the pieces of the puzzle you need in the team? Because if you look at any team that's ever been great in any sport anywhere in the world, right? They don't just show up with a haphazard team and no plays. No. They spend years recruiting kids out of high school that then go to certain colleges, that as soon as they're able to play pro sports, they're getting them on their team. Now, why do you think they do that? I'll tell you why. Because champions, they schedule their success. Champions schedule their success, while everybody else already has planned their failure. I know that's not easy to hear. I know that's not what you want to hear tonight, right? But you've got to figure out tonight, who do I need in my team right now that's going to make me a better person, that's going to be able to manage a team of 5, that doesn't need to call you every day with questions because they're getting their stuff done in their specific niche and what they're great at. And I want to thank our team. I want to thank Michael Silvers for always stepping up and following through, and Cheryl Brenner. You know, she just follows through and she's great with our clients. And Michelle is always texting and posting and opting and putting out great stuff, right? But that's what you need, is you need people that can do the things you're not so great at. So think about on your team tonight, who would you love to have on your team that can make you that much better, make you that much stronger? What does that look like? Because the minute you start to have that conversation with yourself, you're going to begin to attract better people. And this is a secret that I'll tell you guys tonight, that you don't find a great team, you attract a great team. And if things aren't perfect, listen, that's life. If you go through good times and bad times, that's business. Look at the guy today that owns a Landry's restaurant that 3 months ago got $250 million loan for 3%. This week it cost him 15% for the same guy to go get the money. Don't think that this challenge we're going through is just at your house. It's at every house. But it's never the challenge you face, it's how you face the challenge. Can you work on a game plan? Can you begin to figure out right now, today, what would it look like to have yourself on national tour? What would it look like to be coaching some high-end clients in, once again, something you're passionate about, right? You're passionate about it, and you have some superpowers around that can really help some other people. So stop worrying about being the great speaker and start worrying about, are you really great at what you do? And then just speak as much as you can. I don't care if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour, an hour. I love it to see Michelle Jewsbury and Angel Tussey and all these amazing leaders that are out there that are now Daniel Myers, Martha, that are all doing their broadcasts. They're all doing their Zooms and their webinars and their telesummits, you know. I think it makes me so proud to see that they're stepping outside their comfort zone and they're consistent with it. You've got to be consistent with it. It was funny, I seen somebody post yesterday that I talked about this for years. You've got to be consistently persistent. Then I see this quote show up on their page. I'm like, wow, I've heard that before. You know, I've heard a lot of these things before. And the funny thing is, even better when someone puts it out there. Sometimes they quote you, sometimes they don't. But more importantly, you've got to start with the belief system in your heart and your head that you can serve people in your area of expertise. If you want to work with our team to figure out, is your gift something monetizable, then talk to our speaker team, right? Just text the word platinum. Somebody can, I can type it in. Just, it's really simple, right? Text the word platinum. If I can type to 26786 from your cell phone. And I'll tell you right now that we're looking to hire more people that know how to close. We need more people that can get on the phone and talk to you, because we're giving out free consults. And we're getting a lot of people opting in. And so if you think that you might be a great candidate for some things we're talking about, get plugged in. And I know this is not for everybody. Speaking is still the #1 fear in the world, you know, right behind dying. So some people would rather be the person, you know, that's in the box instead of giving the eulogy. And I get that. But the fun part about this now is that now you can speak anywhere. I remember this one time that we were in a small room of 100 people. Tony Robbins, all these top leaders from all these different seminar companies and groups. And, you know, the guy that started, what's the name of the big network group, BNI, Ivan Meisner. And you had all these different celebrities, Brian Tracy and Mark Victor Hansen, Les Brown, all in one room. And the lady speaking, her name was Paula Abdul. And Paula had been in front of hundreds of millions of people on TV, sometimes 50 million people in one night. But she never, ever, ever had to speak in front of a live group. They were always behind her. So all she saw was the person on the stage, right? And when she had to give this presentation, she came in with like 15 pages of notes. And sure enough, you know, she was so nervous. And I talked to her and she said, I can't believe I'm so nervous. My hands are shaking that I have to go speak in front of this group. And it was funny that, you know, when she went up on stage, she was super nervous, you could just tell. And she began to read from her notes. And about 4 or 5 minutes in, she just threw all the notes on the floor and she said, let me just tell you what's happened in my life. And she told us her life story. And I remember to this day like it was yesterday, because the power of her voice and her story were so clear. You got to make your story, right, that what has taken you to become great, not just all the good stuff, the failures. I tell you all the time, I failed so many times in my life. I have weekly failures that things I tried don't work. I believe in people, they let me down. It happens, right? So understand that that's part of building something great, is that you have to realize that, it's not always about being liked, many times about being respected. Now you've got to be very good at communications, you got to be good at follow-up, and you got to be good to help people. But understand this, many times in your business, it's not about just being liked, it's about being respected to make sure the things have to get done. Steve Jobs was hated by a lot of people. You know what I mean? People clap their hands when he got kicked out of the company. They're on video clapping their hands. The guy that started the company they worked for, they were glad he was leaving. It took him 10 years to come back. 10 years, and certainly he didn't start out as a great speaker. He became a great speaker. He became a great orator, right? But he didn't start there. But he got understanding the fact that he had to be great at his communication skills to be able to win over even more people. But it was definitely his way or the highway. And if you didn't like it, then get out, because he brought way beyond the best out of people, even though inside he might have been not a nice person, but he built something extraordinary, right? And so when Paula gave her talk and she brought the room to their knees, man, they were crying that, people don't realize that she crashed a plane, she was on so many drugs, and, she had signed a deal with Coca-Cola for her tour. They never insured the tour, but all her friends quit their jobs to go on tour with her. She did most of her tour with a broken leg and still did some of the dancing. How? I don't know. But, but she became in that moment a different person. And when she came off stage, she said that was one of the greatest things ever to do, is that to get outside my comfort zone and go share my story. Because people need to hear from you that, what are you passionate about, right? What truly excites you the most about what you're doing, about your gift? And please do me a favor, don't take your gift to the grave. People always take their gift to the grave. Don't do that. Life's too short to do that. You have such a big story inside. Why let the big story take away from who you are, or just how great you are, or just how many people you can serve? Begin to think that if you're watching that, guys, go launch a little watch party. We'll get some more folks on here, because what I'm talking about is really taking the skill that you have and then how to monetize it. And this is not like, some pressure. Oh my gosh, we don't even really sell on these events, these live broadcasts. We just give you some good content. If it resonates with you, fill out the form. I know some folks already have. Text the word internet to 26786, right? I'm sorry, text the word platinum, 26786. But these are things, once again, that we have to be willing to adjust the way that we see things, right? And we've got to be willing to start making those adjustments today. Because when it comes to becoming a great speaker, it means you've done at least 100 talks. You've been in front of at least 100 different live groups, video groups, whatever it is, and done those talks, right? And that's okay. What I have figured out that some of the greatest speakers of all time, they've all done 5,000 plus presentations. So, how was your last talk? I don't know. I always make mistakes. I always see things I can get better at. And so will you. But you don't have to, once again, be great to start, but you got to start to be great. Brian Tracy started as a carpenter in Canada. He didn't even like it. And he'll tell this story tomorrow if you guys are around. Come on our Success Summit tomorrow. All of our events now for the digital broadcast can be found at powerteamlive.com. Powerteamlive.com now has all of our digital broadcasts in there for you, and you can watch every day you want, so it's kind of cool. But these are the things, once again, when it comes to speaking, when you're just starting out, what does that look like? People are going to tell you you're not good enough. People are going to tell you you shouldn't do this. People are going to tell you that, this is not your gift. I'm here to tell you today that if you're great at something that serves a lot of people and there's money in the space, you should be on stage. Let all those naysayers, let them all, kick the tires some more. They'll still be kicking the tires. They'll still be complaining even after you become even more successful. If you go back to 1951, there was a guy, his name was Warren Buffett, and it was pretty crazy that Warren Buffett talked about this. He said, The number one skill set, right, for all entrepreneurs and for anybody in business is public speaking. The only plaque he has on his wall is from, he took a speaker course in 1951 by a guy named Dale Carnegie. And he talked all about public speaking, and he learned about it. He said, if I would never have become a better communicator, I'd never be where I'm at today. So I challenge you today that, first of all, if this makes sense, just put a number 1 in your comment box. I know a lot of you guys can't comment because you're on the Twitch feed, and for some reason, our Twitch feed is not as nice as I'd like it to be. You know, we're broadcasting now on Twitch, LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on a few different channels, so it's pretty cool. But for some reason, our Twitch account or whatever we're doing there is just not working super well. Hey, thanks, Christine. Maybe I'll drag you on if you could. Hey, Michael, if you could send Christine a quick invite guest login so she could jump on and just say a couple words, that'd be great. I'll invite some of you guys on if I see you guys pop up on the screen. But I hope this is helpful for you tonight, that along your journey, it's never going to be perfect, and that's okay. Just keep speaking. Keep sharing your message. I love a guy that's part of our group down in Miami, Albert Corey. You know, Albert doesn't care. Albert runs a multi-million-dollar a year business in the tax business, and he loves to speak. And every time he does it, he gets better. You'll hear tomorrow from a young man, Peter Pritchett. He's not a speaker, but I'll tell you what, he's got a great message. They launched a game called House Guests from Hell, and they're taking it all over the world. You know, they'll be on WLS AM radio on Friday night. But these are the things, once again, that you've got to think outside the box in terms of what it takes for you to be great and get paid for it. Because I do believe that if you have a story and you have a message and you can help people, you should get paid for it. Don't wait. Don't ever let someone else tell you what you're worth. So as we go down this, if you built the team, right? Well, then, of course, here's a big thing that people don't want to hear about. And I'm going to tell you this tonight. And I share this often with groups, is that whatever you're passionate about and you can monetize, you can build a team. The big one here is you got to learn to execute. So I'm going to tell you about the phases of execution, because this is one of the tougher parts, right? Is that we get these ideas, we get these big visions, but then we wake up the next day and life shows up. We wake up the next day and we got to go to our job. We wake up the next day and we're working for money we can't live on, people we can't stand, and we know we should be playing bigger. So I would challenge you tonight that, you know, if you really do believe that this is your time to play bigger, then put your thoughts together tonight. Really take the time and figure out, what can I do to help other people that I'm passionate about, that's my superpower? How can I monetize that? What does it look like to drive that? What does it look like to step into a place where it's uncomfortable? Because I truly do believe that, you know, success is going to be found outside your comfort zone. And I think it's kind of fun that, and I bring on guests sometimes as I do this tonight, and I'm sure I'll have a couple more guests that pop on. But I want to take the call out to California, because I'd like to bring someone on that she's one of the top negotiation strategists in the country. She is literally at the top of her game. And she's like, Bill, I need to share this with more people. I've got a gift. I've got a story. I can't wait to go on national tours and do webcasts and broadcasts. And you're going to see more of her. I promise you that, because we're out there identifying those individuals that are so talented at what they do, and then help them build a membership site or get on stages or expand their story. So let me actually see if I can bring her on the stream for a second. Oh, there we go. Somebody already. Let me unmute her. I think she'll be unmuted here in a second. Christine, how are you? I need you to turn your mic on.
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Here we go. So thanks for jumping on, and maybe just take a moment and share with our group a little bit. Hi, Regina. I see you there too. Awesome to have you on. I'd love for you to share with the group a bit of your story and why speaking is so important for you and why you're going national with your message. That'd be awesome. Thanks.
So thank you, Bill. I appreciate you letting me jump on. It's awesome to be here. I just happened to stop in tonight, and it's what a great honor. So I have a very unusual story. I am the only person, as far as I know, in the history of Harvard Business School to have graduated with my MBA, who also was homeless, an unwed teen, and had 3 kids by the age of 22, and then decided I wanted a different life, and then ultimately ended up at Harvard Business School. And then subsequent to that, I've worked with almost 50% of the Fortune 500, negotiating with them in over 50 countries. And as I've moved through my career, I realized that while I really appreciated all of the corporate experience that I had and all the amazing lessons I learned there, what I'm really passionate about is working with small businesses. I grew up in north central Montana in a rural community of like 500 people. The claim to fame for the city, for my little town of Big Sandy, Montana, is that the bass guitarist and co-founder of Pearl Jam is from there. And so for me I just have this strong affinity towards small businesses. And as I worked with large companies, I started to see real discrepancies in terms of how they treated small businesses, in terms of payment cycles and terms that they would require of a large corporation that small businesses just actually can't adhere to. And so I'm really excited about changing that and redefining that message. And in today's environment, it's really all about renegotiation. People have a contract. They assume that because they have a contract in place with a company that they can't make changes, whether it's their lease, if they're, own a nail salon or a restaurant or a small retail store or anything. They assume that they can't negotiate things. They can't negotiate, manufacturing or distribution or even their phone bills. And I'm here to tell you that you can. And I've done it many, many times in downturn economies, during the dot-com bubble bursting, when only 44% of the tech companies that existed in 2000 existed still at the end of 2002. And so for me, it's really about just being passionate about helping small businesses survive and thrive in both a downturned economy and, once we pull out of this and we move forward. So that's really why I do it. And I love and the speaking part of it is just a natural extension of that desire and that passion.
I want to say is I think that, your story will inspire so many others. And that's one of the greatest things about this that people don't realize is that, boy, if you have a big story and you don't monetize it, you think you're cheating yourself. You're not. You're cheating all those amazing people that need to hear your story. And so when I talk about execute, that's what I love about someone like you is like, when you heard the message, yes, this is for me, let's do it. It wasn't like 15 committees and 5 planning sessions. And I said, if this doesn't stretch you outside your comfort zone, then maybe you're already there. You know what I mean? But if you are ready to be stretched outside the comfort zone and you got a big story, let us help you take the story and monetize on the stage. So on the execution side, you're doing great. You've already been through one of the days of training. You'll get more days. You'll be on some events coming up pretty soon. And it's very exciting to watch someone, and I've done this before. I've watched speakers that had a story and then took their story into the national world, and now they're on stage all over the country and they're doing epic things. And there's nothing greater than watching someone you've helped train or coach or mentor, help them go to the top. So I'll let you go tonight. Thanks for being on with us tonight. And you are loved and appreciated.
Well, thank you very much. You are loved and appreciated as well. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe, okay? Bye. So back to this word that we talked about that I wanted to get on, this word execution, is that what does execution look like? How do you execute every day to get better? So you make a list the night before you go to bed. You begin to think about, well, what does it take to really get my message down to a science? What does it take? So let me give you a few tips on getting your message down to a science. And this will help you cut through a lot of the bullshit that people do when they speak, because they were never trained to speak. They were never given a process to be a better speaker. So one of the things that's really important when you speak, just write this down and I'll give it to you straight out, is that number one, be authentic. If you've had failures, tell them you've had failures. If you had good things, tell them you've had good things. If you had to go through a timeline to get there, that's okay. If you can't help somebody, tell them you can't help them. If you can help somebody, I really hate it when customers that I can see such great things for them and they just don't see it. It actually just tears me up, because many times it takes someone other than you to see your greatness. So when I talk about getting a coach, when I talk about your greatness, let other people see things in you can't see in yourself. Because if you could have seen them in yourself, you'd have already done it. You'd have already been there. Think about your big goals you wrote down last year. If the big goals you wrote down last year didn't show up this year, maybe it's time for an adjustment. And I'm not saying that it's a different type of coach. You might need a social media coach. You might need a coach for relationships. You might need a coach for your appearance, your manners on stage, whatever it is, right? There's all kinds of different coaches that are out there. So you got to figure out on the execution timeline, who do I need, right, that can give me some of that coaching. But this is important, everybody. Please write this down too. And I've heard this a long time ago. Boy, just fake it till you make it. I think that's more bullshit. Don't fake it till you make it. Earn while you learn. So the execution side, be frugal. Hire VAs. Run ads every day. I don't care if your ads are $5 or $10 a day. Run small, simple ads that make your phone ring, make your opt-ins go, right? I don't have time to talk a lot about systems tonight, but these are things you've got to work on too. Hey, John Duffy, how are you, man? Good to have you on. Thank you so much. But these are things you've got to work on too, is that, what are the pieces of the puzzle that I can make a list of every night before I go to bed that are going to help me become even more successful? What are the things I can write down every night before I go to bed that can make me even more successful tomorrow when it comes to your speaker business? I don't ever say quit your jobs and go become a speaker. I don't say quit your job and go live your dreams. I believe keep your jobs, right? If you got a job now, it might be kind of tough. I understand that. But this is a great time to innovate too, everybody. I mean, I will tell you I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about digital marketing the last month. You got to realize I'm on planes usually 3-4 times a week going somewhere fun, doing what I love to do. And to be in one place for a month, I don't think that's happened probably in, maybe 10 years, 20 years that I haven't really left that one place. And so I built a war room here and I spent a few $100 on this and that. And I got some lights from Amazon and a couple of whiteboards and some other stuff and some sticky paper for the walls. And I just went to town. You know what I mean? I just locked myself in from morning until I went to sleep. Sometimes I've gone to sleep right here in the war room. I got so tired I just passed out, because I always believe you got to keep learning. When other people complain, when they bitch and they moan, write this down, you praise. When they party, you plan. And when you have massive success, say nothing, zero. Just let your actions, it'll speak 100 times louder than your words. But the speaking side is something that you've got to bring to fruition today. If it's burning in your heart and you're on this broadcast tonight, it means you got an interest. It means something inside says, I'd love to be a better speaker. So what could you write down tonight? Give me some ideas you guys can think of. If you want to put a comment in there, what are things you think you could work on tonight to make you better tomorrow? So let me give you a few as you're writing down, right? One of the things is learn about podcasting. There's an app called Anchor. It's free. Go download Anchor. They teamed up with Spotify. Get yourself a podcast. Another one you can do is build yourself your own little planner. Go to a website called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Build yourself your own little custom planner with your own pictures, some of your own quotes. You can get a planner done now for less than $50, your own personal planner, and print it out. But more importantly, begin to really think about at the highest level, and this is important, everybody, who can you serve? Who is your perfect customer? Execute on that one every day. Who else would be a good marketing partner that you could team up with? And understand this, if people are not going to help you market, write this down, stop marketing for them. It's a simple rule. If it's always a one-way street, move on. I get phone calls every day. Can you market my stuff? Can you market my stuff? I got emails today. I said, that's funny. I said, have you marketed our stuff yet? Oh, no, we don't cross-market. We just want you to market our stuff. I said, well, you're in fantasy land, right? So it's got to be something where you go to bed at night thinking about who can you serve at a high level, team up with, but you got to make sure there's some cross level. There's got to be some cross promotion. Does that make sense? So think about who's my perfect customer? What can we do for cross promotion? What does that look like? So if you know what I'm talking about resonates with you, right? This is important right now. Is just, go to your cell phone, pick up your cell phone, and it's pretty simple. Just text the word platinum. Text the word platinum right now to 26786, right? It'll get you opted in. A member of our team will schedule a call. But these are things, once again, that you've got to be willing to just say that you don't know. And on the execution side, if you'll write these things down daily, your brain will work on them while you sleep. And while the brain's working on them, you're going to get better at it. You'll get better every day. So I never have less than 3 or 4 or 5 notepads around me, because I'm always thinking of different ideas for different parts of our business. And the different parts of our business, I'll then take that sheet right on there, take something right on there. But you got to think today is that, how do I execute like a rock star? What are the things I've got to do that's going to make me better every day? Just a little bit. Understand that most success is never in the one big hit. And if it is, it usually doesn't last very long. It's all about incremental gains. So what are the incremental gains, right? You can always watch a guy named Jim Rohn. Go to YouTube every day, watch 10 minutes of Jim Rohn. Feed really good stuff into your brain. You'll watch his mannerisms. Watch Les Brown. Watch how Les Brown can handle a stage. He wasn't that good when he started. He got great over time, but he's earned $70 million, he says. Pretty good, right? For a kid born on linoleum floor in South Florida, you know what I mean? With no money, because his story was bigger than all the adversities around him. You got to know tonight that your story's bigger than all the negative people around you. Your story's bigger than all the adversity you're going to face, especially if you know you can help people. If you know you can help people, I'm telling you right now that put your gift in motion. If you need help, then let us help you. We're here for that. We've been training speakers and coaching speakers now for well over a decade, and some are on the biggest stages in the world. And I just say this because I think too many people give up on their dreams. They quit. Don't quit on your dreams. You were born with a God-given gift. If you have a gift to serve people in a certain area, the only thing that speaking does is it exponentially adds to the broadcast. It just gets your message out to more people. So if what I'm talking about tonight resonates with you, right, don't wait. Don't wait on this stuff, right? Don't be lazy with your big goals and dreams, right? Let your big goals and dreams take ownership of you. Let them really take ownership right now. And the execution side, do things every day. You know, I'll share with you, our team will help you. We'll help you build your signature talk. We'll help you build your product box. We'll shoot your promo video. We'll create, and I'll help you understand the whole top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel. What does it look like? Do you want to go virtual? Do you want to go live? Do you want to go national, international? What really resonates with you, right? Where do you see yourself best fitting in? And then all of a sudden, let someone else tell you it's a good fit or it's not a good fit. Because, you know, at our highest level, we work with about 40 to 60 speakers a year. That's it. Not that we don't help speakers all over the world, but it's more important to understand that you got to be selective in who you're going to spend your time with. Who is really that perfect customer? And if these things really do, if it's speaking to your heart right now that, man, time is of the essence. I don't care what people tell you. You should know it now more than ever. Time is of the essence. And if you're not moving over to digital, you're watching people with 10% of your talent make 10 times your money, while so many are so gripped in. They're so locked in, right? Don't be locked in. Be open. We started all of our virtual broadcasting only 3 weeks ago. We're now reaching thousands, tens of thousands of people a week with our virtual broadcasts. We're bringing on speakers and trainers and coaches, right? That if I see them on the stream, sometimes I bring some of them right into the forefront of this, right? And Michelle, thanks for all your comments. I think a lot of our people are on the Twitch line. They're watching on Twitch. So, and for some reason, the Twitch, the chat feed wasn't working very good, at least not for me. And maybe it's working for others, but I couldn't get the chat feed to work properly. But anyway, we'll get better at this stuff, right? I understand that, you know, we're on YouTube. I see a bunch of posts on YouTube as well. So for all my YouTubers, man, thank you so much. Love having you guys on there. But this is a process, everybody. So please write this down, that success in the speaker world for sure, it's a process, not an event. Hey, Patricia Rogers, I'd love to have you come on and say a couple words. If good to have you on. If Michael, I don't know if you have Patricia's information, but if you could send it to Patricia, that'd be great. Maybe I think look, she's on Facebook. Just message her on Facebook if you would, because she's an amazing story that now runs her own events 2 years later. She hosts speakers and trainers, and she's got a message and a story. She came out of government. You know, she had the toughest job in the world. She worked inside the prisons down in Miami. You know, she was a correctional officer for most of her career, but now she's got a story so big that her energy takes over the room, takes over the stage. And this is what I love, is I love to see people that believe in themselves just enough to get over the hump, that once they have belief they can do it and they start doing it, they become unstoppable. And that's what we do, is we love to build unstoppable speakers, right? You know, so if these things resonate with you, if what I'm talking about resonates with you, don't wait on this stuff. It costs you nothing to text in. Just shoot the text. Text Platinum to 26786. I think that, Patricia, if I can get you in the studio, we'll bring you on for a minute. I don't know if, I think that Cheryl Brenner might be around somewhere listening. She'll be able to send it to you, or maybe Michelle. No, it's not your email, so I don't need your email. they'll get you a message through maybe actually, Michael, you could probably pick up that email. You can text it to her there if you want. Send it to her quickly. We'll bring her in the studio. But I think for you tonight is that once again, and I know we ran late last week because I had some really great people on there, but I need you to really think about what are you really passionate about that you're great at, that that you'd like to bring to the world. Who's the team required to make it happen? How committed are you to the execution side? Are you coachable? Are you hungry? Could you commit to doing 100 presentations? How many here tonight could commit to 100 presentations, whether they're live or visual or digital or anchors, or they're live on video on YouTube, or going live on YouTube, or not YouTube, setting your own channel on YouTube? Because these are things, there's technology out there that I've found just the last month that are blowing me away with how good some of this stuff can be. But it's up to you to really begin to go down that process. And if it takes you a couple of years to build a great speaker business, I'm here to tell you today it's worth it. I know you've been in events where you sit in the audience, you're like, man, if that person can do it, I can do it. And I believe you've been there because I've been there, right? And the only difference, I took action. I remember one of the first times that I was just starting to get better at the public speaking, and we had a lot of stuff down to a science. I seen all these big events going on in Europe, and so I decided to fly to Europe just to meet the promoters. I decided to get me a VIP ticket for the event. And so while I'm waiting in line, I went to a little coffee stand to get a coffee and get a little something like a breakfast sandwich or something. The lady behind me started chatting. She said, "Where are you from? What do you do? And what do you do?" And I said that we run some events in the U.S. and I speak on business growth. I've written some books and been involved with some movies, and we've helped tens of thousands of small businesses create some more success. And she just said, well, that sounds pretty awesome. And that's kind of where the conversation, I picked up her breakfast. I said, let me just buy your breakfast. It's really nice to meet you. Because I do believe you always pay it forward. You get time with someone that plays at a much higher level than you, or that, that you think is a pretty cool person or a nice person, or you just want to give back, right? So after I did that, when her food came, she came over to my table and she said, when can we, can I join you? And I said, of course you can join me, right? And we sat down, we started with such a nice conversation, and she said, I think you're pretty excited about what you got going on, and I'm glad you're here. And I said, well, what do you do? And she said, well, my husband and I, we actually run this whole conference. She said, we run events all over the world. And I said, wow. So understand that coincidence is still God's way of remaining anonymous. And she said, why don't you come backstage with me and meet some of these guys? And I said, sure, I'd love to. Next thing you know, 6 weeks after that, I was on a global tour with their team for almost 2 years. Did events in more than 30 countries in just a couple of years. I think the 1 year I went around the world 6 or more times. So understand that, you've got to begin to think bigger than you've ever thought. You've got to begin to believe bigger than you've ever believed, because the market, the world needs your story, and the world's ready for your story. As a matter of fact, I see that Patricia just dropped in the studio. So let me bring her on for a second, and I'll finish up tonight. And I will try to finish right here on time tonight. But I do think it's important that don't give up on your big goals and dreams. Be willing to get some coaching and some guidance. Be willing to step outside the comfort zone. Be willing to understand if you have something great, please share it with the masses. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't take your story to the grave. But let me introduce Patricia, and I'll just finish up with some last minute comments. So Patricia, and just so you know, she is a powerhouse of energy. She's one of the individuals in the country I have so much respect for, because she didn't come saying, Bill, I have all the answers. She said, Bill, I need your help. And, we kind of butted heads at first, and she's like, no, I need time with you. And we got time together, and we really had a heart-to-heart conversation. This is probably 4 years ago now. And since that time, she's spoken on stage all over the country. She's ran multiple events. She's been at a number of our events speaking. If you ever want a great speaker that's full of zest, energy, and life, and teach you how to go from corporate to entrepreneur, you won't find somebody that is really coming from more of a place of integrity and honesty and knows her stuff than my good friend Patricia Rogers. Let me see if I can bring her in here. Patricia, how are you?
Lovely. Hi, Bill. How are you?
I'm blessed. How's your favorite? How are you?
I'm good. You won't believe I just got off of StreamYard myself. Me and my business partners, and we're training too. We're training too.
I love it.
And I was tickled when I saw you. And matter of fact, I had my alarm set, but I was stuck on the call with her. I had my alarm set for you this evening. How about that?
Awesome. See, there's no accidents.
Yeah, and oh my
So
God, when you said training.
maybe you could share a bit of your story and what you're working on now. That would be great. I would love that.
Wow, my story. You pretty much told most of my story. I want to say thank you so much, first of all, for being in my life and being there for me just as I retired. And right before I retired, I connected with you, Bill. And I tell you, I just followed you, and you was tough. You was tough. But you know what? I'm tough. So I knew I was going to be with the right people. And that was good for me. And I thank you for the Platinum Speaker Training. I mean, ever since I jumped in with both feet. And I jumped in with purpose. I jumped in intentionally. And yes, for the last 2017, January, we was up there with you. And yes, and many, many doors have opened up for me since that time. And I say yes.
But you always show up.
I say yes to opportunity. Absolutely. That's the only way we're going to really get what we deserve and what we desire, is that we do have to say yes, even when we're in doubt, when we're fearful. Just say yes. You know, because when I say one yes and I show up, another opportunity opens. Isn't that amazing?
What would you say for new speakers? What would you say for new speakers? And you might want to turn off your Facebook feed if you got Facebook running. What would you say for new speakers? What would you say for new speakers to really get them inspired to take action today?
Well, what I say to new speakers, I would say that if it's a desire for them to do, if it's their desire and their dream or their passion, I would say do not delay yourself on fulfilling your dream, because no time is a better time than now.
That's right.
Just like we got hit upside the head with COVID, crises, challenges, all of those things are gonna always come. What we have to do.
I know you got more events coming up this summer. When is your next event in Miami? Do you have a date yet?
No, as a matter of fact, I canceled the one I had for May. I canceled that one, and I'm going to look forward to next year because I need to reposition myself, Bill. I'm repositioning. I'm creating more packages, and I'm creating some platforms online. I'll be calling you to speak, and I'm just doing whatever I can do to still serve and edify entrepreneurs, because that's what I do. That's my passion.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I love you. I'll let you go. Keep up the great work, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Love you,
Bye
Bill.
now. Stay safe, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now. So once again, everybody, I just want to finish up tonight by saying I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that, Christine, only 3 weeks ago, incredible. 6 stages in 3 weeks. I love it. This is what it says. It starts with you, everybody. It all starts with you. But I just want to say thanks for plugging in tonight. I know you've got a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's busy. But I hope that these messages give you some hope, some inspiration, but also some real actionable items to help you have some more success. So I want to say thanks, everybody. And we're going to finish up tonight. And just as you go around and you're stay safe with your family, but don't give up on your big dreams. I look forward to meeting everybody personally. Have a great night. Michael, team, everybody, thanks for plugging in, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye-bye for now. The broadcast is officially over.